Hello, welcome to Megan Sullivan Art. Hopefully we have a good angle for you for this video. Let me just double check. Maybe up this way a bit. You can see all my notes, never mind. Alrighty, so I am back with a video of some of my fluid art notebooks that I make. So this is a way of me using up excess fluid acrylic paintings that I haven't sold. Like, I have actually sold a lot over the past couple of years, but there's just some that for whatever reason I've just decided to cut up, and they were smaller canvases and they make really good book covers. So I'm going to run you quickly through all of these and just let you know how many pages are in there, show you the fabric linings, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to go through. So there's 11 here altogether. Some of these will be destined for the Alice Springs Desert Park, and others will go to Central Craft if they're not sold at the Todd Mall Markets this coming market. So this first little one was like a unicorn inspired fluid acrylic painting that I had done. So I did a series of these, just little ones, and they worked out really well. There's some gorgeous sort of singular marks, and they're very pastel and gorgeous. So because these are going out to our desert park in Alice Springs, which is very much a tourist attracting business, I've actually decided to go with Indigenous fabrics for a lot of these, where I could get something that kind of complemented with colours. Then I've also teamed it up with similar coloured papers. So these are papers, so this for example is avocado dyed paper, this is Rick dye, and all the papers I use are, I'll try and get second hand. So this is like from one of my friends' kids' old school books. This I bought second hand, some handmade paper. This is Rick dye again, in purple, and then a fuchsia pink, and then a teal. So that's pretty much it, and then the dark blue. So that kind of repeats throughout the book. So, and in total, this one, so it's 11.5 centimetres wide, 17.5 centimetres tall, and this one's got 72 pages in it. So that one there. So these generally, I would retail these for $30, this kind of size, and they have sold quite well for that price before. So that's the one I would call unicorn. Next one, I've got these three little blue ones. So these were just offcuts, because you would have seen this in my previous video where I've used part of this painting for the beach journal that I had done. So these three little ones are just great for shoving in your handbag. So this one is 9 centimetres by 12.5 centimetres tall, and it's got 64 pages. So this has like a different kind of a lining, not an Indigenous fabric, and it's just a mixture of the different blues. Line paper, blank paper, yeah. So just a handy little notebook just to jot things down. That's that cute little one there. That one has 64 pages. This one is 9.5 by 11, and this one has 76 pages altogether. And this is like a shibori fabric lining for that one there. So that's the whole cover. And this is just all lined paper, and it's all the one blue. And it's just different sizes. Some of it's like a music paper and others is lined. So that's all that one there. This next one is 9 by 12 centimetres and has 64 pages. So that's quite a nice cover, that one. And they're all stitched on the sewing machine, and they've all got wax linen binding. And this is 64 pages. This is just a bluey fabric that I had in my stash. Just a mixture of the blue and whites again. 64 pages. Some lined, mostly blank. So that's cute. Next up, we've got this one here, which has a brooch on the front. Now, it is a second-hand brooch, so on the underside of the iridescence, there are some scratches. So you probably can see in the brooch where some of that has actually come off. But, I don't mind. I like to repurpose things like that. So this one, again, sort of iridescent green metallic paint on that cover. And I've chosen Indigenous fabric for that one, which is gorgeous. I have used this one before on a tarot-inspired journal. I think you'll see way back in my YouTube feed. This one measures 13.5 by 22.5 and has got 80 pages. So for this one I've gone for the pinks, the teals and the dark blue. We have got some white with the blue on it, some lined, a bit of avocado dyed paper. So just a mix of different papers. So again, you could do whatever you like on top of these pages. You could glue stuff on there, write on it, scribble on it, draw on it, glue stuff in it. It's really up to you what you decide to turn these books into. So these little blue ones and this one, I'm not sure of the price of what they will be at this point in time. This one here is kind of more of a landscapey kind of colours. A lot of bronze metallic paint in there. Trying for the colours of the Aussie outback with the sand and then the greenery and things like that. And thinking of the Simpson Desert in flood, for example, was my inspiration for this particular fluid painting. This one is 13 across, 23 centimetres tall and has 96 pages. So this one has a whole range of different coloured papers. This is an Indigenous designer fabric, which I bought here in Alice Springs. All of the ones I buy were new and bought here in Alice. Really quite nice, that one. So this is Rit dye in brown. That's quite a thick card. That's actually one of the papers, the front cover papers of a book. Lined paper. This is the blue Rit dye. This is actually eco dye with Sturt Desert Peas. So the black is the seed pod. And I actually added coffee into this. So that's why you've got the white where the red leaves were and then the coffee dye behind it. This is green Rit dye with a bit of rust from the pan, because I do it in a baking pan. And gum leaves, another gorgeous eco dye print, so that's an original. Avocado dyed, teal. This was, I tried just soaking my papers in alum and then ironing plant material in between them. So you'll actually see where I have ironed gum leaves. You can see there's like a bit of an embossing where those leaves have come out. And then this is some of the plant material that did actually colour the paper with. So that's watercolour paper. Bit of tracing paper. This is avocado dyed, which picked up the rust in the bottom of the pan. More gum leaves and different plant material there. Really beautiful imprints. And it just repeats, green and blue, avocado dyed, pale green, more eco dyed, and repeating out the other side. Yeah, so that's a really nice one. Real Central Australian inspired, that one. Then we have this one with a little, it was a pendant, and I thought the blue actually took up the cover quite well. So I've actually sewn it on with wax linen. It's also actually glued down, so that's really not going to go anywhere. And I've used an Indigenous fabric to cover the spine just to protect this canvas, because it did start to crack a little, so that's going to protect that. So this one is 9 across by 17 tall and has 52 pages and does have an Indigenous fabric with a pale pink dot, as you'll see throughout that one. So this is a mixture of the different colours again. So it's the pale green with the white, the pink, avocado and the blue. So some lined, mostly blank with that one. And 52 pages in total. Yeah, so quite cool, that one. Then next up we have another one inspired by the desert here in Central Australia. This one has a little, some kind of flecks of bronzy goldy colours through this one. You get a highlight of that through there. These were a series of paintings that I called Horizon. And this one is 13 centimetres by 19, has 72 pages, and a really bright, vibrant Indigenous fabric here with some butterflies and lizards and geckos, and a mixture of different papers again. So this one does actually have, this is a Rit dye in tangerine. That one does actually come out quite a lot brighter than that too. This is an elephant poo paper, which my boss gets from Indonesia. There's the brown. There's the orange looking a little bit brighter. And yeah, so that basically repeats, that colour scheme repeats. And in the centre of this signature, we've just got a piece of yellow handmade paper. And that continues through that book. That one there. Nice and bright. Next up, I've got this brown one, which was, I ended up calling Latte, the actual big original painting. It's quite a large canvas. Just got to look like frothy latte cappuccino to me. So there is some bronze elements to this one, and there's an earring that I've repurposed, and you'll see there are just 2 little Demontes on the side there, and probably, I'm not sure if that's that special shell from New Zealand. I can't say for sure. So this one here measures 11 by 16.5 centimetres, and it's got 88 pages, and it has another gorgeous Indigenous fabric. This is Bush Banana, is this one here. This is an eco dye from a cycad plant leaf, which didn't actually work out too bad. This is rust from the baking pan. Some brown tangerine. These leaves you'll see again, this is actually bougainvillea leaves. So lots of orange in this one, and some real grungy kind of eco-dyed backgrounds. A bit of rust. That's some round kind of eucalyptus leaves from here in Alice. I can't remember if this was just random Aramofla petals, I think, from my front yard. So these are the, oh, these were geraniums actually, geranium petals that we plonked down onto the paper. So this is watercolour paper. And so there's lots of oranges, more eco dye on the other sides. Yeah, so it's not the best eco dyes, but, you know, you don't want to waste any of these papers. So for the purpose of just as a notebook and writing over the top of or gluing on top of, I think they're pretty good for that purpose. Loving the rust and the back of the cycad plant. So that's that brown one. Next up we have this other little pink one from the same canvas as this, just a different section. This one is 9.5 by 17.5 and has 68 pages. Same fabric as the spine on this one. And it's the blues and pinks, and there is another bit more of that ironed eco-dyed with the embossing effect that was created. So just a range of different papers. This one has got a bit of the tracing paper in it. I love how this dark blue turned out. Some of them are really like cosmic. That'll be awesome for space themed journals, which I am kind of collecting for. So that's that little one. Then we have this one here. These were the colours that my house is painted, apart from the silver. So this is the outside of my house, basically, that you're looking at. The blue is our fences. The grey is the house walls on the outside, and the terracotta colour is, it's called tomato bisque, but it's actually the similar colour to our shade sail over where our cars are parked. And then I love silver, so I added silver in. I was going to do a huge canvas for the front of our house, actually on metal. That didn't eventuate, but this was me testing out the colours. So this is the full painting of this journal. This is 11 centimetres by 18, and it's got 104 pages. And another Indigenous fabric, just with the hints of yellow design on this one. So it's the blue, the white, and the orange, just to match in with the colours of the painting at the front. So there's lots of shorter white pages in this one. Again, they were offcuts, so I never throw any of these things away. Yeah, so it's quite an interesting one, that one. This is a handmade paper, same as the yellow in the previous journal. So that one there with 104 pages. This one was a series of paintings that I did that all ended up, well, it was about 4 that I did one night, and they all ended up having like this cloud kind of satellite picture effect. So all of these were named Satellite 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a piece of one of those paintings. It's 12 centimetres by 23.5 centimetres, and it has 64 pages. And this Indigenous fabric lining, and it's got the crazy stitching around there, which I love. So this is a bit more, it's not a traveller's notebook size because it's a bit bigger than that, but kind of has that feel about it. So some more of the eco-dyed remnants. That was some gum leaves, I think. Love that spotting effect on the orange there. Tangerine colour. Yeah, this was all loose red Eremophila flowers from my front garden. And this effect was achieved by sandwiching a plain white piece of paper in between the damp dark blue papers when I microwaved them. And it came out with this effect. It's really good when it steams. There's the geranium flowers again. Yeah, so that's that one. So yes, these will all be available at the Todd Mall Markets this coming Sunday. And then the stock will be split up over the Desert Park, Alice Springs Desert Park, and Central Craft in Alice Springs locally. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and hope you like them. Gives you some inspiration. Cheers. Bye.